Oh, hey there. Don't mind us. We've just been spending countless hours trying to disassemble this Alienware Area 51. This is the dumbest case design I've ever seen. So screws and clips, that's what we're dealing with here. You get the screws out, and then you still have clips on top of that. There you go. There's about 30 minutes of work there for one panel. And no, I'm not exaggerating, it took us that long. Is this another Phillips? Oh, I thought we were ready to film this. It just never ends. All right, that's out. So, what we were trying to show you earlier was this back piece coming off. We cannot find a convenient way to remove this fan. Oh. Right there. Again, I just like the design is so weird. Like, why can't you just mount the fan there? Why did you have to put this stupid plastic bracket here and make this just way more complicated than it needs to be? The video was supposed to be us like putting expensive components into this older case and kind of making it like a sleeper, sort of weird alien, like in 2024 Alienware themed build. A majority of this video is just gonna be me complaining because it deserves it. Oh, well, Dell. Looks like you guys just electrical taped your little LED strip here to this front panel. Interesting solution. I'm not sure how to feel about that. What do they call this stuff? It's like the forbidden cheese dust, like the cheese puff dust, you know, like you get the cheesy fingers. Get cheesy fingers. You wanna lick it, Raymond? This is just a gigantic mess of cables. Totally an original line, not said by Raymond 5 seconds prior to filming. So this is essentially front panel. It's got USB 3, HD audio, all of the LEDs and stuff. I think we're gonna do an LED delete for this case. It's just gonna be a pain having to reassemble all this and figure out where everything goes. So we're gonna keep the vital stuff, get rid of the colors and lights, and just hopefully we can make it, oh boy, this is cringy. Hopefully we can make it work. I love that SD card slot though, I gotta say. That's creme de la creme right there. We've got what's called a VBAT1, maybe like a volume battery or something. I'm assuming there's like double A's under here. Oh, come on. There we go. Ooh, oh boy. That is corrosion if I've ever seen it, and something tells me these don't work anymore. And now that we've finally disassembled everything about as far as it will go, this feels an awful lot like a PCDC episode, it's time to spray this thing down with water. Yeah. We're not using air. We're gonna get the hard stuck on grime up with water outside, and then we'll spiffy this thing back up and hopefully have a nice sleeper rig ready by the end of this video. Are you ready? Stay with me. Want a stylish mid-tower? The Antec C3 has you covered. Want a case with 4 included ARGB PWM fans? The C3 has you covered there too. Ample cooling capacity? C3 will take care of you. Seamless tempered glass paneling? The C3. Airflow for days? C3. Bountiful hardware support? You guessed it, the C3. Antec's latest offering is a spectacular combination of form and function that won't break the bank. Learn more by clicking the link below. This case looks so much better. So much better. See? The magic of water. Well. I know to most of you, this is like, you're all gonna be watching this video, the same video. So to all of you, this only seems like 2 or 3 minutes worth of work, but it has taken almost all day, since about Raymond got here, to disassemble this thing. And again, I'm just gonna show you a quick couple B-roll clips of just how many screws we had to remove from this chassis in order to get it properly disassembled. Absolutely mind-blowing, and honestly, something that would have prevented me from doing this if I had known what we were getting into to start. But in our stubbornness, we persisted, and we have, well, relatively clean components now. These are still over a decade old, give or take, and they're gonna show signs of just wear and tear that we're not gonna be able to get up with water or an electric duster, but they do look a lot better than they did. We don't have any lingering dust bunnies, and I'd say our little Area 51 R2 here is finally ready for a proper hardware upgrade. But that's gonna happen in day 2 because we're exhausted.
Day 2.
Now the entire point of this build was for it to be modern on the inside with sort of like an older OEM, like Alienware flair to it. So we've got an ROG Strix B650A here, and this not only looks modern, but also packs a punch, allows us to throw in something like a 7800X3D, which I think we have, yes, 7800X3D here. So we're gonna plop this in here. We've got 32 gigs of Corsair DOM Plat DDR5, and then we're gonna tack on a, this is gonna be kind of cringe, a 120mm AIO. But it's not our fault necessarily. We're using a case that just doesn't have a lot of cooling support. It only has a 120mm mount at the rear and only 2 single 120s at the front at different angles. And I'm not even sure a 120mm is gonna fit if we mounted it up there. 240 is not an option. It just is not possible with this case without heavy modification. And I'm also concerned about clearance with some beefier tower coolers. So we're just sticking with a 120mm. There was already a 120mm in here. That's how it came from the factory. So we're gonna play it safe. Time for our CPU then. This is gonna be one of the best gaming CPUs money can buy today. We're gonna lower this retention arm. DDR5 DIMM 1 in slot, there we go, in slot 2. DDR5 DIMM 2 in slot 4 for dual channel. Platform looks pretty cool so far, and we actually just discovered this. The tray in the case is removable. So we've got the motherboard on the tray as it stands, and it's supposedly just gonna slide in. This is probably more difficult than we needed to make it. Something like that. And then, yeah, it just slides in, and we have 2 Phillips screws to hold everything in place. Ooh, piece of candy. You guys like that?
Ooh, piece of candy.
Now, one of the reasons why we decided to take this project on in this Alienware rig and not another is because there are a lot of standardized connectors here. So this one, if you can see that, that is actually HD audio. The pinout is identical to what you'll find on standard motherboards, and so we can just connect it like so. I know that seems like a silly thing to point out, but this is Dell we're talking about. So it is nice that Dell's actually playing somewhat nice with, you know, standardized stuff. In goes our measly 120. It is gonna be awfully tight in here. I think it'll fit. Looks like it fits. We'll have to get our, actually I should have gotten the fan secured prior. Anyway, we'll just do a test fit for now. I wanna see if this block is gonna do what I want it to do. I think it's gonna have to, maybe that doesn't look good. You see, the problem is the tubing is just silly. I don't really know what to do with the way that this tubing wants to turn. So it turns out this case's unorthodox shape is really working against us here. Our AIO is actually a little too tall to fit in this 120mm mount. The tube section is hitting this angled portion. So we've had to completely relocate this AIO to another odd place, right up front here. The mounting point of which I can't really see. It's supposed to sit oh, here we go. It's this, yeah, I'm learning as I go. Okay, it's supposed to sit like that, I think.
12 seconds later.
She's fighting me a little bit. Just gonna tighten the block down, and it is unfortunately gonna look a little weird with the tubing the way that it is here. It's just gonna kind of spaghetti noodle its way around our DDR5 toward the center. Get all of our cables in for our power supply. Going at it from this angle is gonna be a bit weird. Just gonna kind of nudge it in like so. Okay. Wait, what? Isn't it supposed to go in this way? Right? Yeah, that didn't take long at all. Also, yes, we are using custom cable extensions because, well, why not? We got the Alienware blue, or close enough to that in there, some white accents to spice things up a bit, make it look more, I don't know, spaceshipy, right? I mean, this is an Alienware rig after all. This is definitely not my best work. I know I've said that more than once before, but I'm really not going for any clean look back here. This is already so obscure as it is. I'll just be happy to get the right side panel on. And lastly, as usual, the graphics card. Okay, gotta, angle it all the way 30 degrees up. Let's see, we've got plenty of room in here for a large card. It's the one good thing I can say about this case. Snaps in like so. This, by the way, is an RX 6750 XT if you're interested. Just touching up some cables, and I'll be real with you guys. This took so much longer than I thought. I'm not sure if Raymond felt the same way up front. I was a little hesitant to make this video because I wasn't sure if there would even be a worthy ROI, but I did not expect this to take a full 2 days practically to clean, disassemble, and rebuild in. And there's been just challenges that you don't run into with your average case because this is partly proprietary and the shape is so odd. The viewership probably won't make up for how much time we spent on this one, but I do think it looks pretty unique, something you guys might actually like. I've got to say, the blue really helped this rig out. It didn't look as good as I was hoping. It still looks modern inside, but the blue, in my opinion at least, it does help set it off. Just subtle color in here, and an otherwise kind of silver and black themed rig. We do have silver accents on the Area 51 R2 as well that I thought would tie in nicely, although in hindsight, you can't really see any of those because, well, it's either one or the other. You either have the left side panel on where there are silver accents and then you don't see the silver on the inside, or you leave the left side panel off, in which case you don't see the silver on the case, you just see it on the interior. So, didn't really think that one through. There's a lot of stuff that was really driving us crazy with this one, including mounting this AIO. We spent a good hour and a half just situating that. The power supply was really finicky. I'm just ready to turn this thing on and finish the video. I'm dead serious. We've spent so much time on this one. Very frustrating. Just ready to move on to other projects. So let's cross our fingers, hope it powers on, and call it. Power cable, power switch, and well, here goes nothing. If it doesn't turn on, we're still ending the video. Yeah, voila, look at there. She's booted up. Most folks by now know how capable a 7800X380 is, along with a 6750 XT. Very capable card from AMD, fairly power efficient as well. In fact, this entire combo could get by with a much lower wattage power supply. But if you are curious, this is an average 3D Mark TimeSpy score for this combination of hardware. Still very capable in 1080p and 1440p, and it'll get you some juicy, juicy frame rates as well. Don't waste your time. This was like the biggest waste of a build ever. I think it looks kind of cool, but at the same time, this case was an absolute disaster to work with. Just pure over-engineered crap. It really is shocking how overcomplicated and also cheap and stupid it is all at the same time. So yeah, don't buy it. And definitely don't do what we did. Thanks so much for watching. My name's Greg. Thanks for building with me.
You know the MZXT like AIO screen never turned on, right?
The AIO, the block, it didn't turn on?
Yeah, that screen never turned on.
That's probably what this was for. And I'm absolutely not turning this thing back on. We are taking this apart ASAP. So, sorry. Sorry, it's not happening.